Okay, let's just dive right in. When you really boil it down, there are pretty much two kinds of people in this world. You've got the person who's just surrounded by ideas, kind of lost in thought, and then you have the person who's got their hands on the tools, actually building something real. Look, this isn't just about your personality type. It's a choice, a fundamental choice that every single one of us has to make.
So I gotta ask you, right here, right now, which one are you? Are you the talker? The one with all the brilliant plans, the endless conversations about what could be? Or are you the builder, the one who's actually turning those plans into something you can see and touch? This is way more than just a simple question. It's really an identity check, and it's gonna shape everything you do from this point on.
So let's break this down. What does it really mean? Well, the talker, they're all about ideas. But those ideas, they usually come with a side of excuses, right? All about what you're feeding your mind. Think about the music you listen to. And this is what we mean by content is fuel. It's about being deliberate. It's about no longer just passively scrolling or listening to pass the time. Instead, you start using that content to power your ambition. For a builder, the right song or podcast, that's not a distraction. It's a shot of adrenaline, a reminder of the mission. It is pure fuel for your fire. And here's where it gets really interesting. That same fuel affects people in totally different ways. A talker might hear a motivational speech and actually feel, well, kind of depressed because it just shines a spotlight on everything they haven't done. But a builder, they hear that same message and feel a jolt of energy. And that's the whole point. This kind of content is actually a filter. It's designed to push away the talkers and pull the builders in closer. Now let's talk about a feeling I think a lot of us know. That Sunday night dread, that heart attack Monday feeling. Where does that really come from? Honestly, it's usually the direct result of a week spent talking, planning, but not actually doing. It's the emotional bill that comes due when you're trapped in inaction. And this leads to a question that really just cuts right to the chase. When things get hard, when you hit a roadblock, are you making adjustments or are you making excuses? Your honest answer to that question tells you everything you need to know about which path you're on right now. So this is what it feels like to be stuck in talker mode. You're just paralyzed by not doing anything. You talk a great game, you listen to all the motivational stuff, but it just leaves you feeling more trapped. It reminds you of that huge gap between where you are and where you want to be. If this feels familiar, that's a huge sign that something has to change. So how do we get out of that trap? How do we finally kill that heart attack Monday feeling for good? We do it by adopting the builder's mindset. It's a complete shift, right? From trying to just survive the week to actively designing the week you actually want to have. And that whole design process, it starts right now. And here's the cause and effects, plain and simple. What you do today, what we'll call action-taking Thursday, directly builds the kind of Monday you're going to have. A Thursday full of excuses, that leads to a Monday full of stress. But a Thursday full of action, that creates a Monday that's calm, focused, and rewarding. It's a simple formula. Today's action builds tomorrow's peace. So here it is. The power to change your whole week is in your hands right now. You are not a victim of your calendar. By taking those small, consistent actions today, you are literally architecting a better future for yourself. You can actually get to a place where you look forward to Mondays. Imagine that. Okay, this is where the game completely changes. See, being a builder today comes with a massive, almost unfair advantage. Modern tools. It's not just about working hard anymore, it's about working smart. It's about leverage. And the biggest piece of leverage on the planet right now, it's AI. This quote, man, it just nails what's happening right now. AI is creating these unbelievable opportunities for people who jump on board. But at the same time, it's creating a huge gap for those who don't. It's going to provide for the builders, and it's going to divide them from everyone else. And you can see that divide right here. Builders who use AI as a tool get insane leverage. They can brainstorm, create content, scale their work faster than ever. But the people who ignore it, they're not just standing still. They are actively falling behind as that gap gets wider every single day. It's not just about AI, though. The other secret weapon for builders is understanding the science of attention. In this world of endless scrolling, getting someone to stop and listen, that's not luck. It's a skill. It's a science. And builders are learning the formula.
I mean, just look at this headline. It's a perfect hook. It tells a whole story in one sentence and just fires off a dozen questions in your head. Why'd he quit? What's with the 22 acres? And how in the world did AI bring him back? You can't help it. You have to know the rest of the story.
And here's why that works so well. It's not magic, it's psychology. It starts with that high contrast, tech life versus farm life. That creates curiosity and a ton of story tension. And all of it opens what we call a story loop in your brain. And your brain hates open loops. You have this deep psychological need to close it, to find out what happened next.
So once you've nailed the hook and you've grabbed that attention, you get something incredibly valuable: traffic. And let's just be real for a second. In the digital world, traffic's the lifeblood. Without people paying attention to what you're building, you don't really have a business. And here's how that works. It's a straight line. It's simple. Traffic gets you visibility. Visibility creates opportunity. The opportunity to sell, to connect, to make an impact. And capitalizing on those opportunities, well, that's what creates income. All right, we've talked about the mindset, we've talked about the traps, we've talked about the tools. Now comes the most important part, your first build. This is where we stop talking and we start doing. This is the exact moment you go from being a talker to becoming a builder. And here's a really powerful next level idea for you. The end game isn't just creating stuff for other platforms. The real goal is to build your own platform, your own content hub, your own newsfeed where you control everything and you own the traffic. Now that is the ultimate builder's play. So here it is, your action plan. It's simple, it's direct. Number 1, decide. Make a conscious choice right now to be a builder. 2, take one real action today to prove it to yourself. No more excuses. 3, go find a powerful hook and practice rewriting it for your own thing. 4, fire up an AI tool and generate 5 new content ideas. And 5, start thinking about how you're going to build your own traffic system. And that brings us right back to the beginning. We've laid out the 2 paths, the tools, the plan. The only thing missing now is you. The only variable left is your action. So the final question isn't for me. It's for you. What will you build today?
Freedom ain't the weekend. It's a mindset. It's that moment you realize your time is the real currency. We don't clock out. We cash in on purpose. Welcome to Freedom Friday. With vision, Friday end with proof. I ain't built no luck, I built the truth. 17 weeks, no breaks, no flinch. Consistency, my cloth, can't tear an inch. The grind feels sacred when you know your lane. Turn struggle to syllabus, pressure to gain. I used to chase weekends, now I own my days. Design my time, redefine pay. Boss on my rhythm, freedom in sight. Every scroll I wrote got another so right. They talk hustle, but they miss the plan. Work for peace, that's the real demand. From the live to the link to the legacy taught. I ain't sold out, I sold thoughts that bought. Every small trickle now flows like rain. Freedom Friday, I broke those chains.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Let go that fear, we rise and strive. Strong are we rise.
I earn my rest cause I earn my grind. Peace ain't cheap when you bought your time. Every no I heard was a lesson taught. Every delay was a seed I bought. From comment credits to crowns of faith. Freedom Friday ain't a date, it's a state. Made discipline sexy, consistency cool. I ain't follow they trend, I rewrote the rule. Hustle, berry, sing the souls back home. While I talk numbers on a microphone. Edutainment the vibe, we built this bridge. Music meet money on the same ridge. Friday ain't weak, it's strong by design. Freedom the fruit of a disciplined mind. Celebrate now, we ain't done by far. We ain't chasing weekends, we chasing stars.
It's Freedom Friday. We made it through the grind. Oh yeah. Time to free your peace of mind. Let go that fear. We rise and strive strong all week now.
They say the grind don't sleep, I let piecework shift. I ain't burnt out, I refine my gift. Scroll after scroll, turn story to seed. Now faith pay interest on everything I lead. I ain't waiting on Friday to feel alive. Every day now got that freedom vibe. No clock in, no boss tone calling. Self-made CEO of my morning. Used to measure worth by the payday sums. Now I measure peace by how calm I become. From dark weeks to bright ends we grow. Freedom ain't luck, it's what we know. Built my legacy off discipline, say. Now every Friday feels like heaven's pay. Hustle, bear, let it berry harmonize. Freedom Friday, we monetize the rise.
It's Freedom Friday. We made it through the grind. Oh yeah. Time to free your peace of mind. Strong all week now. Watch us fly. It's Freedom Friday. We built this we built this life. We built this life.
What if I told you there's a simple strategy to stop the scroll on social media? Captivating visuals paired with intriguing captions can turn passive viewers into engaged audiences. Creating curiosity is the first step in driving engagement. If you want the roadmap to what I'm doing, drop hustle in the comments and I'll send you the details.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 54, day 5, and we are right at 14 minutes into today's challenge. So, as we peel back the curtain to reveal, as usual, the most valuable document in all of online marketing, I want to welcome you guys once again to, as the intro theme song states, Freedom Friday. So on Freedom Friday, I know it's often one of those days where people get so excited. They're at the end of what they believe is the end of their journey, their weekly grind. That situation where it's the last day, and either the day is over for you, depending on if Monday through Friday is your work week, depending on if you work a day shift or a night shift. This could be the day where you're thinking to yourself, it's all over. It's all over. I get to relax. I get to, after today, I get to enjoy myself. I don't have to do any more work. I don't have to participate in anything else that I don't really want to participate in. I don't have to engage in the things that I know is necessary in order for me to live. And now I get to enjoy my freedom. Okay, okay. I can understand that. Everybody loves Freedom Friday. And I love Freedom Friday myself also. But the thing about it for me is this: my work week never starts and never ends. I don't work a Monday through Friday type of shift. I haven't worked a Monday through Friday or a 9 to 5 type of job since around 2018. Matter of fact, 2018, September 30th was the last day that I worked a corporate job where I was tied down strictly to having to appear somewhere at this time of day and having to leave at this time of day. And at that time, I was doing an 11-hour shift and I worked in the call center. And each, let's say every 6 months or so, I believe, we would have what's called shift bids, where you would have to change your shift. You know, you go to a new team, you'd have to pick a new schedule, and you didn't always get to pick what you wanted. Now, luckily for me, I was one of those type of people that was a pretty good performer. So the better you performed at your job, the better opportunity you had to get the shift that you wanted because it was a ranking type of system. If you ranked high, you get first dibs at whatever shift you wanted. But if you ranked low, if you weren't as productive, if you were on the low end of the totem pole, you had to basically settle for the shifts that were available. Now, me personally, I'm not the type of person that wants to be held down by any strict, specific, shift time set, unless it's something that I set myself. Unless it's something like this, the Hustlers 10-minute a day challenge, where I decided personally that 9 a.m. Monday through Friday EST time that I was going to show up consistently. And for the last 54 weeks, that's over a year, I've been consistent, but it was something that I chose to do. But back then, even though I was a high performer and I got to pick whatever shift I wanted, the shifts on the list, they varied. The call center would open up as early as about 6 a.m. and then we would end as late as, I believe, 11 p.m., 11 or 12. And the shifts, it could be 7 or so different shifts that you can pick from. Some of them was 5 days a week, which I knew I wasn't picking a 5 day a week shift. Then you had your 4 day a week shifts, and you had some that was even, had 3 days a week. Now I wasn't picking the 3 day a week shift because I wanted to make sure that I was getting, the maximum amount of hours that I could get. So I always picked a 4 day a week shift. Sometimes I picked a Tuesday through Friday. I've had a shift where I did what's called the weekend wrap, which was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, so that I was able to have some days during the week to be off. So while other people might have been working a normal Monday through Friday, I was able to have a sense of freedom throughout the weekday. And I was able to experience things that other people didn't get the chance to experience. One of the things that I enjoyed to do, and I haven't done it in a while because one of my favorite Chinese buffets, they closed down. So I used to go there on Tuesdays. I used to go there around 11 to 11:30 a.m. right when they were just opening, just so I could get the fresh food that was just cooked. And I used to go there, and I've created some videos in the past where I'm showing my plate and stuff like that. And I'd be one of the only people in there. It might be less than 5 people in the whole entire buffet. And I enjoyed that because I don't like big crowds. I don't like being smothered by people. I don't like, you know, I don't like big crowds. I'm going to just say that. I like to be more so by myself. I'm going to just be honest with you. So I like to go to the buffet at that time where I got to experience, hey, I sit wherever I want. The owner's there. They knew me. Hey, where you want to sit, there you are. And I go do my thing. But even with that, having the ability to pick my own schedule, I still didn't pretty much enjoy it that much because it was something that, I still had to make a choice of. It's not something that I could have stopped at any time. Kind of like, hey, here at the Hustlers 10-minute a day challenge. If I decided that I didn't want to show up any day out of the week, that's a personal decision for me. But me, the type of person that I am, I'm committed to the process and I'm committed to it till the end. Now, when is the end? I don't know. I don't know. How long will I do the Hustlers 10-minute a day challenge? I don't know. But I've gotten so consistent at it that I can't see a end in sight. And I think even worse than that is that I'm so committed to being consistent that if anything was to try to interrupt me, as things have tried to interrupt me on a couple of occasions, that right there is enough to give me anxiety. That right there is enough to kind of tick me off because I don't want to stop my consistency. It's my choice to show up on a daily basis, just like it's your choice whether you show up or if you don't. And if you don't show up at 9 a.m. because you can't make the live, then it's your decision and your choice whether or not you catch the replay, which is, available. It's not available forever, but it's available long enough for you to be able to make a decision to catch it when you are available. Maybe your available time is 1 p.m. Maybe you have an hour long lunch break. And while you're having lunch, you want to be able to see something that's not only entertaining, but also educational. Something that's going to help you build something for the future. And that might be the time that you decide to be committed to watching the Hustlers 10-minute a day challenge. Now, once again, everybody ain't got it in them to be committed to a process. It's up to you. If you want something bad enough, you'll work at it hard enough and long enough until it's actually achieved. And that's what separates some people from other people. And that's why people like me, I can sing the song, Kendrick Lamar's song, They Not Like Us. I could sing that song proudly because I know that the majority of people is not like me. They're not committed to processes. They'll let things go and they won't take action. They're more of talkers instead of builders. And you already know that I'm about that action. I'm about putting in the work. I'm about doing what's necessary. I'm about showing up consistently. Once again, rain, sleet, hail, snow, broke hand, construction work going on around me. I'm still committed to the process no matter what. And that's something that gives me confidence. That's something that makes me say, hey, still be humble. Be humble. You know who you are, but still, be humble. Just know that you are who you say you are. And later on, the rest of the world, either they'll figure that out and they'll get aboard or they won't. But either way, you knowing who you are and that you do what you do is good enough. So today, on this Freedom Friday, I wanted to keep it kind of light. And I wanted to take advantage of something else that was talked about in that intro training. It was talking about a keyword that we use in the industry that's so valuable that it will make the difference between a person being able to have a small trickle of income or a strong flow of income and productivity. And it's a word called leverage. Now, as they said in the intro training, you said one of the best things that you can use for leverage nowadays is AI. It's like at the top of everybody's list. And if you're not using AI to leverage what it is you're doing, then you're missing out on a major opportunity. And as they stated, the gap is getting wider and wider every day because there's new AI tools, there's new opportunities, there's new ways of looking at things and thinking about things. And AI is here to help you make all of those, talking points an actual building point, something that you can actually work towards and build on today. So I'm going to take advantage of that today. So we practice what we preach. We engage with information and content, and we learn from it for the purposes of it being useful to what we need. So we don't let any opportunities slip through the crack. We look at things, we learn from them, and then we act. So I want to pull up one of my favorite tools as usual, real quick. And this right here, of course, it's the new tab section. It's free. It comes with every browser. Whether you're on your desktop, laptop, or on your cell phone, you can open up a new tab and you might see trending news stories depending on what browser you're using. But this right here is something that I opened up just a couple of days ago. Matter of fact, it might have been yesterday or the day before. And I wanted to talk to you guys real briefly about this because it proves something major. And on a Freedom Friday, it should inspire you because it lets you know that anything is possible. So look at the title. It says here, she wrote a book offering biblical proof that Trump will save America. There's just one catch, and MAGA won't like it. Now, this isn't about politics necessarily, even though it's a politically charged article. And for some people that's involved in, politics, they might be a little bit upset by the article. Some people might be humored by the article, but we're here for the valuable information in it. And after you hear this, you might start to look at your life a little bit differently when it relates to what it is that you can and can't do, what's possible for you and what may not be possible for you. So I'm only going to look at the key takeaway section, and it's powerful. So look here, first section, book concept. Rihanna Texeria, hopefully I'm pronouncing your last name correctly, self-published, scriptural evidence that Trump is set apart by God, which contains blank pages mocking claims that Trump is divinely chosen to save America. That right there is enough to make you stop. And some people might get upset, some people might laugh. It says here, it contains blank pages, right? So it's a book. It's a book that has blank pages. There's no words. Now, the main purpose of a book, white pages, black ink, or whatever color ink that you want to use, right? But primarily, white pages, black ink. It's the main goal of a book. The main goal of a book is to have content. So it doesn't necessarily always have to be text. It could be a picture book. But this right here is a book that's, a text-based book. But it contains blank pages. right? So it says here, Impact and Reception sold 1,000 copies in 2 months, helping her pay off $4,000 in medical debt. Reviews range from humorous praise to critical reflections on evangelical beliefs. So, this book sold 1,000 copies in 2 months. This book with blank pages, right? It sold 1,000 copies. Now, I want you to think about this. You and your business, you and your home based business, you, you're selling physical products or you're selling digital products. Have you ever imagined selling a digital product that was empty, that was blank, that contained nothing? You struggle currently with selling and promoting your product or service that you feel as though is the best product on this planet. You think it's going to help solve so many problems. You know, it's been touted as being the best thing on earth. Somebody has sold you a dream about it, and you believe in that product. And in some cases, you use the product, you see that it does what it's supposed to do. You've gotten some results from using the product itself, and now you decide to sell it or to promote it as an affiliate, and you can't get one sale. How does this make you feel? How does it make you feel to know that there's a person that created a book with blank pages and they were able to sell 1,000 copies in 2 months? And it wasn't just because she wanted to, do this. It wasn't just an empty type of concept. It was something based off of, her seeing a void, filling a void, and having a major why, a major reason. This right here is a very powerful statement right here. It says helping her pay off $4,000 in medical debt. She had a debt that she needed to pay. And she didn't, maybe she worked a regular 9 to 5 that she didn't enjoy, that wasn't serving her in the best way possible. Maybe that job didn't pay enough, obviously, to help her cover all of her medical bills, and she needed something extra in order to help her get that $4,000 medical debt down. And what happened? She thought about it. She leveraged something that, you know, further down in the article, it does say that she's never written a book before. But her idea, her willingness to do something and step outside of her comfort zone, to possibly do something on a Friday after her work week was over, she decided to possibly start on her business week. So go from working for someone else to actually working for herself and creating something that could help her take care of her debt. And maybe this also gave her an idea to do more of it. Maybe, hey, after you take care of the medical debt, let's see if I could create something else to help me pay my mortgage. Let me see if I could create something else to help me pay off and purchase a new car. Let me see how far my creativity and my ability to be an action taker, to be a builder, how far can that actually take me? So she got reviews. They range from humorous praise to critical reflections, right? But check this part out right here also. It says personal journey. Texaria, once a devout evangelical, now questions MAGA Christianity, reinterprets Jesus' teachings, and shares her experiences with religious OCD and deconstructing faith. Now, it sounds like that statement right there, it sounds like she decided to go all in on this particular niche. Let's call it a niche. So she decided to go all in on religion and questioning religion based off of, you know, this particular segment of our country, this particular group of people that follow the teachings of or the principles of MAGA, right? She decided to focus in on this particular area that a lot of other people might not have even thought about focusing on in this particular way. And she decided to do that and, make it an ongoing thing. And she's become popular. So it says life here, and it's underlined, right? This viral video has people talking about Christianity versus MAGA Christianity. So she's created a whole lifestyle and a whole, you know, a whole way of doing things that now she does on a daily basis or however often that she chooses to, right? She picks her own schedule, I would think. And maybe she stays committed to her schedule that she decided that she's going to do. And she posts on social media. So it says here, by 2017, she stopped attending church, and today she makes videos on social media about her upbringing. So now she's telling stories about her life and is tying back to her beliefs and how she was raised. So let me ask you guys this on this Freedom Friday. What is it that's something that you feel as though is missing in the world? What is it that you have a specific skill set in? What is it that you yourself feel like you can focus on for a long enough period of time and put forth enough effort into and create something that could possibly help you take care of some type of need in your life? Whether it's a medical bill, once again, maybe it's paying off your mortgage, maybe it's paying for your car, whatever it is. Now, I don't want you to think about what somebody else has suggested is being the best opportunity on the planet, right? I don't want you to even care about affiliate opportunity that somebody else has created and they've made millions of dollars out of because it was their personal idea or personal goal to make something in that particular area, make that work for them. Because we know for a fact that online marketing, affiliate marketing, network marketing, whichever one it is, it's kind of like trying to enter the NBA or the NFL or any other major thing that a lot of people think, hey, this is where you become rich and famous and you be able to do all this, that, and the third. But we know for a fact that only a chosen few people will ever make it. You know this for a fact. You know that if you decide that you want to be a NBA star and you've watched Michael Jordan all your life and he's had all of these commercials where they say, hey, I want to be like Mike. And all your life you've thought that you can actually be like Mike. And you tried and you trained and you played in games and sports, and then you find out that there's a million other people that feel the same way, that they can be like Mike also. And that's when the competition starts and you realize that it's not even an unlimited opportunity. So everybody can't be like Mike. There's only a limited amount of space that can be taken up. There's only a limited amount of teams with a limited amount of spots. And even though online marketing is a little bit different, whereas anybody on this planet of age with an internet connection, they can sign up to be an affiliate of a particular opportunity. So everybody can do it. But the success rate of them actually achieving the goal of financial freedom is as slim to none as it is for someone trying to get into the NBA, no matter how talented you think you are. But there's so many other people that have made a successful life for themselves, stepping outside of that thought pattern, stepping outside and saying, hey, I may not be able to be in the NBA, but maybe I can design or create a special design for the basketball. Maybe put a special logo. Maybe I could put a spin on something in this particular industry that I love. Maybe I could put something special on the basketball itself. Or maybe I could put a special logo on some shoes. As I read the article or a story yesterday about a black shoemaker who's actually, he's putting a lot of famous, you know, unspoken of black entrepreneurs and leaders. He's putting something on the shoe to help, represent them. He's putting it on the sole of the shoe, on the bottom of the shoe. And his company, of course, is getting a lot of support because there's not a lot of black shoe manufacturers. So he decided to be one of the few. And of course, people want to support it because of that and because it's a worthy endeavor. So, what is it that you can think of that you can still use the foundational skills that we share with you here, right? So, we share with you some foundational skills that you can get access to just by clicking this, what I call, well, and what I consider to be the second line in this most valuable document, when it says here to grab your mega link, and it leads you to a place where you can acquire the foundational skills to help you build any and every type of business, right? Not just the business of selling and promoting the products that's within this particular system, because that's just for a few people. That's just for a select chosen few people. Everybody's not going to be successful selling and promoting the products and tools within this particular system, but more people can be successful implementing the skills that's being taught within this specific system and applying it to something of their own. So that's the value. So I want to ask you guys today, are you willing to turn your Freedom Friday into a day where you actually work towards obtaining freedom? Not just financial, but also leveraging a system that will allow you to buy back your time. Time freedom is one of the most important things that you can ever work towards. I know some people that, make pretty good money, but they don't have any time to actually spend that money because they're held down by a schedule. They're held down by a schedule that might take them away from family and enjoying life for 12 plus hours a day. And they can't take off because they're responsible for being there. So it's a trade-off. So that's the question that I have for you guys. And I wasn't even, it wasn't even my goal to talk to you about this today. It was my goal actually to leverage my AI tools, my AI system, but I'm not going to keep you guys too long today. My goal was actually to let my AI business partners do the majority of the work by allowing them to teach and train you. But it's just something that's in me that I just have to do it. I have to put in the work because I like to do the work and I am a builder. So maybe later on today, I'll go live again and I'll play what I wanted to play for you guys. Maybe over the course of the weekend. But either way, you know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be building. I'm going to be working on what I'm creating for you guys and the things that I'm creating and building for myself outside of this. So the work never stops. And I hope that you don't let Freedom Friday for you turn into an opportunity for you to just slack and feel like it's all over and that there's no more work to be done. Because now is when the real work starts, when you get to work on your own personal business. So, with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. We're going to close out like we always do. And when this live is over, like I said, once again, the fun doesn't stop for me. I'm going to get back to work and I'm going to continue on. And I will see you guys in the next live. So let's pull up the closer. And matter of fact, let me do a little bit promotion. I want to also invite you because tomorrow's Saturday. And on Saturdays, as we always talk about when it comes to consistency, my business partner, Mr. Wayne Crow, he will be here on Saturday, tomorrow, at 10 a.m. EST time, and he'll be doing a live training as he consistently does. And that's why I love being partnered with him, because he's a consistent person. And if you're looking to build a business with people that are consistent, that show up, that actually do the work, and that you can rely and trust, then I don't think there's any two better people that you can actually be partnered with. So tomorrow's live at 10 a.m. EST time. The title is The New Ways to Earn Commissions Inside OLSP and Get Free Traffic. So if you're interested in building something and being part of a community of people that show up, then you need to be there. So just to give you a little bit more tidbit information, it says something is changing inside OLSP this Saturday. A new way for a big group of members to pull in free visitors and a fresh path for the bigger players to stack more commissions. I am walking you through both live. So he'll be there to show you and I this new way of doing things so that we can become more successful than ever before. So if you're interested, then you know what you need to do. Click this link, grab your mega link so that you never miss the opportunity to join us in another live. You'll get notifications sent to you so that you'll know when to join us, and you'll know about all of the special things that we have going on so that you can take part and take action. So with that, once again, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next live.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first. But in silence, even whispers can quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create, People laugh, said she doing too much. To my PayPal pin, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spin like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom. Now the vision stick, no hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat I write, I'm free in the